But let me start with Ed Orgeron, who was a guest this morning on Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob, and talked a lot about the schedule for the players, for the coaches during all of this pandemic, talked about recruiting, a lot of stuff. But most importantly, he answered the question about, and Jordy asked point blank, is the football season in jeopardy? That's how we asked the question. Is the football season in jeopardy? This was Ed Orgeron's answer.
No, I don't think so. I think the health of our country, what I'm hearing now, I'm just like everybody else, man. I'm just speculating. I think there's going to be a spike, and then there's going to be a flatten out, and I think we're going to get back going, and I think we're going to be back to normal, hopefully for this summer. I don't know that, but that's what I'm thinking. And we're going to have a football season, and on we go.
Okay. Something that I've talked about a good bit here is as we have gone through these hypotheticals and opinions that many people have, the thing that I said and have said consistently is consider the source. Yesterday, you had conflicting opinions from Arthur Blank, the billionaire owner of the Atlanta Falcons, and Mike Florio, the editor at Pro Football Talk. One is a billionaire owner of a billion-dollar industry and an NFL franchise. The other runs an NFL website, a very successful one. But understand, we're talking about two different levels of connectedness and connectivity. With respect to this, can we understand that Ed Orgeron is like BFF with the governor of Louisiana? I mean, Ed Orgeron did a PSA where Ed Orgeron did a PSA that got 3 million views on it. Like, his PSA about coronavirus got more attention than a lot of primetime TV does, okay? When John Bel Edwards has a press conference announcing their stay-at-home initiative, Ed Orgeron is right behind him and then addresses the media. So my point is, like, don't think that the head coach at LSU, who is close with the governor of the state of Louisiana, a state where not only in our city, but our state as a whole, LSU and LSU football, by extension, controls so much of our economy and the flow of cash through our economy. Don't think Ed Orgeron's not having those conversations, and don't think the state of Louisiana isn't interested in those conversations as well. By the way, Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, was on Golic and Wingo today. And here's what he said about football in the fall.
Yeah, my focus is on preparing to kick off college football Labor Day weekend in the fall. And we will continue with that focus. And I am optimistic. I think my role, my job is to prepare with that in mind.
So, again, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons thinks we'll have a 16-game NFL season. The head coach of LSU does not see a year without football. The commissioner of the SEC is preparing for football on Labor Day weekend. Kirk Herbstreit is retweeting Roger Federer trick shot videos on Twitter. Like,
hey, Twitter world.
Can we understand the difference when it comes to considering the source? Understand who is saying what and where you are electing to get your information. Dennis Dodd has this piece out right now about how, like it or not, college football's in jeopardy. Yeah, but the commissioner of the SEC just said he's preparing for the season to start on Labor Day weekend. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take his word over yours, Dennis Dodd. It's something you're going to hear me say a ton as long as this goes on, is consider the source. Everyone's got an opinion, and that's fine. You can have your opinion as educated or uneducated as it is. It's the beauty of this country. We have free speech, and the internet and Twitter and social media has made that even more powerful, where everybody's got a platform. And my guess is, in hindsight, I bet Kirk Herbstreit wishes he could walk back his comments, and he didn't think that it would blow up the way it did. If you could strap him to a lie detector, inject truth serum in him and ask that question, he'd probably wish he could walk back those comments. But you can't. Toothpaste out of the tube. But let's all hope moving forward that what's best for everyone is what transpires. Now, a few more things from Orgeron today on Off the Bench with Jordy and T-Bob. One, he talked about how he's handling being away from the team, of course, because their team's scattered all over the country.
First of all, we got to stay ahead of the curve. I told the team that it's a level playing field. We got to compete. We got to be elite. We got to set the LSU standard of performance. Obviously, it's different, but we had a plan to get into this week. We talked as a coaching staff on the phone. Everybody is on the phone with our guys. They're allowed 2 hours per week on the video. Our guys are putting in installation. They're making corrections. We have a academic task force team that are on the phone with our guys constantly, making sure they're on online class and tutorials. We're checking just like we were going to school. So we've tried to make it as realistic as we can. Obviously, it's a little bit different. Some of our guys are still in town. Some of our guys, most of our guys are at home. Obviously, their safety to us is first. Football's going to come. We will be ready.
Football's going to come. We will be ready. So the thing, and you don't have to take notes on this. I mean, there's not going to be a test or anything. But what I got so much from listening to Ed talk today is LSU's got a plan and they're organized. It's completely not an ideal circumstance, but everyone's dealing with it and they're doing the best they can with what they have. He also talked about what the staff is doing on a day-to-day basis right now, even though they're not all in the building.
We talk every day. Here's our schedule. At 8 o'clock in the morning, our coordinators call our position coaches. And they put in the install of the day, and they meet in that virtual Zoom room. I still don't know what that is, and I really don't care. I let them do it. Yeah, the Zoom room, whatever they call it.
The Twitter machine.
And then 9 o'clock, our position coaches get on the phone with the GAs or in the Zoom room with the analysts, and they come up with tips and reminders and installation. And by 1 o'clock, our guys have that, and they watch it, and then they set a meeting time with their coach, and they give them a report. Every day they have a certain time that they have to call their coach, and they give them a report. So we stand on top of them every day, and our academic guys are calling them. Thank God we have a lot of help. It takes a lot of help to do this. But I do believe our guys are working out on their own. They're doing the best that they can. And we'll be ready to go whenever they call us to.
And one more. Again, you can tell, they got academic counselors. Remember, what if guys at home fall off academically and then they're not eligible? They got academic counselors. They're checking on guys, making sure they're logging in their classes, making sure they're doing their work, trying to get them their workouts, or meeting with their position coaches. They're doing the best they can through all of this. And finally, remember a couple of weeks ago when all this started, we had Shea Dixon on with us. And Shea said something in that interview that surprised me then, but has proven to be true. He said it's actually never been easier for coaches to recruit now, because typically a high school kid, as they go about their day, if you think about it, it makes sense. You wake up early, you go to school, you're at class all day, you have workouts, you have practice, then you're home, you do all your homework in the evening. It's 8, 9 o'clock at night before kids might even start calling back coaches. Well, now Shea said, look, everybody's home. It's never been easier to get kids on the phone and FaceTime, even though you can't have in-person visits. And so you've seen a lot of recruiting waves throughout all this. Anyway, they asked Ed about recruiting during this time, and he kind of reiterated that.
Actually, it's better because they're all home. They're bored. They can't wait. They FaceTime you back. They hit you back on Twitter. I'm able to talk to recruits all day on the phone. I'm in the office. I come in the office. I get my computer. I go home and I watch all my recruits, and I get to text them. They call me back. It's been tremendous as far as being able to contact recruits because they're at home and they're bored. They want to talk to you.
As odd as it is, it's so true. It's just never been easier for coaches to get in touch with recruits. So you're seeing a lot of that headway made right now.